Hi everyone, I hope you're having a great day. I'm really excited today to talk to you about one of my favourite topics, which is Ayurveda. So, if you've chatted to me within the last few years, you probably have heard me mention this word because I am obsessed. Basically, Ayurveda is almost like the sister science to yoga. It is from India and it's over, I think, like 6,000 years old about now, which is just amazing and incredible. And it's said to be where everything kind of has like come from. So, like Chinese medicine is kind of stemmed from that as well. And everything that they were talking about, teaching about then, makes so much sense. And the world is starting to wake up, and we're starting to turn back to these amazing ancient teachings to help cure our diseases that we're finding from our modern day lifestyle. And it's a big part of my teachings as an IHP, an integrated health practitioner, and it's just so good, so good. So one of the things that they teach, and for really makes sense, and I think it's a nice place to start, is how we are all individual, we are all bio individual, so not one person is the same. Isn't that amazing? Like, just think about that for a second. There's no one else like you in terms of your physical constitution and also your amazing gifts that you have and your personality. And and so Ayurveda teaches that we're all made up of these energies, doshas. And there's three energies that we all have within us, but we will have them in different varying amounts depending on what we are born with, and also what we are working with and how our life is at the moment. So the three energies are Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. And we all have all three, just remember that. But someone like me might be more Vata, another person might have more Pitta, another person might have more Kapha. Because what happens is, if you've ever seen these tests online, you kind of get told that you're one thing, and you can kind of just think, okay, I'm just that, but we're kind of a flow of all three. We'll just have one that's more dominant. So I'm so excited to share everything about Ayurveda with you, and just dive deep, because once you start to like go into it, so much makes sense. Like, honestly, it's crazy. So let's just talk about the doshas. Let's just get stuck in. So the if you're a Vata predominant dosha, there are some things that will be kind of your stereotypical, say, body type, and the mind type too. And this is what is just so spot on with Ayurveda, is everything is linked to the body and the mind. We're really starting to learn that now, I think, in the Western world, and we're starting to realise that kind of brain body relationship. So a Vata person is naturally very perhaps skinny. They have small wrists, so I've got kind of like sparrow-like wrists, and they tend to be quite cold, and what else? Sometimes quite dry skin, maybe dry hair, and they have slower digestion, weaker digestion, because of that coldness. And when we think of the Vata, we think of like the elements dry and like the wind. So always on the go, very active, like can't sit still, fidget bum. And in the mind, then that comes into it that way too, because very active, perhaps can over worry, overthink, over analyze, can be all over the place. I mean, this is typical me, like have about 5 things on the go at once and not really do any of them properly, or have all these amazing business ideas but can never get them like down and done. So that's the Vata. When the Vata's balanced, they're very light and airy, and they are creative, and they're very enthusiastic and joyful. So that's kind of a little outline of that. A pitta predominant body type is then like the mesomorph body type, so a little bit more muscular. They might put on muscle more easily than the vata. The vata is more of that kind of like lanky body type that would struggle to put weight on. And pittas have a lot of fire in the belly, so they're heated and they are a little bit more moisturized. So they're not quite as dry as the vata. They might even lean more to having oily skin. They might sometimes suffer from heartburn or indigestion. They might get like heated and frustrated and angry more easily, and they tend to be more of that entrepreneurial, very type A Aries personality. So for me, I'm a vata pitta, so you can also have two doshas, but one will be more dominant. So that's me, and I have to be careful because my pitta can imbalance my vata. So it's a whole kind of just moving equilibrium of keeping your body and everything just moving nicely. And then we have the kapha dosha. And kapha dosha is interesting because of our society now and our upbringing, no one wants to really be the kapha. So their body type is the more curvaceous. They, that typical Kim Kardashian, Beyonce, hourglass figure. They can sometimes easily find it like harder to lose weight, and they can, if they eat too many carbs or heavy foods, they can find that they gain weight more easily. So people tend not to want to say that they're a kapha, which is just weird because they have amazing traits. They're a lot more robust in that their immune system is a lot stronger. The vata is the weakest immune system. They kind of are a lot, get knocked, their brain barrel will go over the edge more. So kaphas are a lot stronger. They'll have stronger bones, stronger immune system. The kapha energy is a little bit more earthy. So if you know someone that's like, yeah, whatever, I'll go with the flow. I'm really bad at acting. Like you'll know someone like all these doshas. And the kapha is that kind of just grounded. Nothing stresses them out too much. They're just like really chilled, but they can sometimes hold on to stuff more. So they hold on to calories more, and that's why you see the weight gain. They might hold on to grudges more. They find it hard to let go. And also sometimes when they're imbalanced, they can feel that kind of sluggishness, that depression that comes along with kapha. They also have a slower digestion too, a little bit like the vata. So like I said before, those sort of body types want to steer away from eating heavier carby meals. But it's interesting, and there are some good quizzes that you can do to find out where you are now. What's important to remember is that you'll have a mind type and a body type. And like I said before, you'll have a type that you're born with, your genotype, like your genes, and then you'll have your current state. So a lot of us will do these tests and get vata because a lot of us now have so much going on. We're overstimulated that we have vata imbalances in our minds. So just to keep that in mind when you do these tests, that a lot of them will be showing where you are right now, which is great because you can start to balance. It will show you where you need to find balance, but just keeping that in mind when thinking about your body type, and perhaps then you see the foods that work better for your body type. So this is the great thing about Ayurveda. Once we start to realize and look at ourselves and look at our patterns in mind and body, you can find a lifestyle that is going to start to find that equilibrium again and bring you back into balance. So when I feel like I'm getting a bit pittery and a bit fiery, I know that I can have some cooling mint tea, and I can do some exercise like yin yoga to just calm me down and cool down that fire. Another thing about pitta is acne, and that the heat and the toxins coming through the skin. So if you ever have like a rash come up, or you have some spots, it's normally a sign that you're a little bit pittery. You might want to cool down and calm down. But yeah, I'm so excited to keep sharing all this stuff with you. I hope you find it as interesting as I do. Some great books to start learning if you want to dive deep, like I have, is Deepak Chopra's Perfect Health. It's really, really good. And there's an amazing girl, or woman I should say, called Sahara Rose, that has a great cookbook as well, and she has great blogs and podcasts, and she does lots of cool things on her Instagram all about Ayurveda, so check her out too. And if there's anyone else that you'd love to learn about, let me know, because I want to learn from them too. But if you want to find out more, make sure that you're subscribed to my newsletter, My Little Tribe, and we can find our joyful body and joyful mind and our joyful life together. Lots of love, and speak to you soon. Bye.